Hello, John.
Good evening, sir. How the devil are we?
I'm good, thank you. Do you once again have balls in your face?
Nearly on the side of my face.
And not for
Swinging
the
balls.
time. So I have some brews here that you'll approve of tonight.
Oh, go on.
You can see them. Stormtrooper. Oh, you can't see them. Stormtrooper Sniper beer.
Ooh.
Stormtrooper Galactic Pale Ale.
Ooh.
I've got a few of them. I've got a Stormtrooper first aid kit from Christmas last year.
Mate, that's amazing.
Light speed Pilsner.
Light speed.
Yeah. I'd be enjoying
So you drunk that quick.
I think I was half cut last time we did the thing. I listened to myself afterwards and I sounded like I was slurring quite a lot.
Obviously works then.
Just the other day. Just normal for me, I guess. So yes, where did we leave off, John? Can't remember really.
I'm trying to think what we were talking about last.
Yeah.
Bikes. We were talking about bikes to ride, I think. Our favourite bikes to ride.
Our favourite bikes to ride. So,
and I think we came to the conclusion that all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. All of them that we've had their own little special.
Every bike ever.
Yeah. I've got one for you.
Go on then.
The best ride, I'm not talking about females here. The best ride on a bike you've ever had.
Well, we're talking about the bike itself or the journey?
The journey. And the bike.
Ooh, most memorable bike journey that I've had. Oh, that's...
Yes.
I think most memorable is definitely has to be a winter story of riding in from Kidderminster into Birmingham.
When you were commuting.
Yeah. When I was working at Five Ways. And literally, as I reached, well, I suppose it's I can't try and think what the junction's called. But as you're coming in on the Birmingham Road, it's where Chiquitos is and McDonald's.
Yeah.
Literally got there and my fingers froze numb.
Oh. We are talking about the best ride you've ever had, not the worst.
You just said memorable.
Okay. So,
all right, well, I'll answer both then. So memorable, obviously, that always sticks in my mind because I was literally going down Hagley Road at 8 o'clock in the morning in between lanes of traffic, filtering as you do, not being able to use my clutch.
Oh, God.
Because my fingers didn't work.
You don't feel them anymore, yeah?
Yeah, so that was kind of memorable. But best. I'm trying to think. Best is a tough one. I mean, I've got lots of memorable journeys, kind of like being caught in the rain. I got an old pair of Alpine Stars boots on, racing boots. Thought, this is lovely. My feet are lovely and dry. Going up the motorway. Reached coming off the M69 roundabout and went to change gear, and that's when all the water that was in my toes suddenly rushed down the bottom of my foot, soaking my sock. Icy cold water. I literally squealed as I went round the roundabout.
I think
I don't know. Go on, give me yours, and let's see if it will jog anything, because there's lots of memorable ones. But
I think I'll do my worst one first. I think my worst one is sketchiest ride, because this is another one of my questions where you both sketchy ride, which obviously you kind of answered. So my worst one would have been, I was at a Shatterford Motorcycle Club meeting on a Tuesday. I think you know the story.
Yeah.
And the headlight had started to flicker on the Transalp a little bit. And I thought, I didn't really think much of it. Just thought, it must be a loose connection somewhere or something. But on the whole, it was okay. And it just started to flicker a little bit. And on the way home, and we were talking, it must have been 11:30, 12 at night at this point. Right. I was riding back from Kidderminster back to Redditch. You know what that road's like. Just come
Old Bromsgrove Road.
Yeah. And I've just come through Chadsley Corbett, and the bike keeps like cutting out. What's going on here? Oh, this electrical problem's obviously worse than I thought.
Yeah.
It was getting worse and worse and worse. It didn't do it on the way there. The headlight was flickering as it had been doing. I didn't just, like I say, I just thought it was a risk an old bike, you know what I mean? And I was coming along out of Chadsley Corbett. You come out of Chadsley Corbett, you go up this big hill, and there's no light on that road. It's like a rural road. And there's no path. It's just trees and verge either side. And it just died on me going up the hill. And I'm like, oh, no. So it's slowing down to a stop. It just completely cut out. The headlight had gone off and everything. I think it just about had a bit of side light. And I've got the throttle kind of open and stuff, and it's just dying on me.
That's the hill where Arctic Spars was on the left, isn't it?
No, it's further back. It's further back than that. So I'll tell you the place. There used to be a house. There's a house there, and they used to have tanks and all sorts of like ex-military vehicles there, like outside. They used to collect tanks or military vehicles or something. Anyway, I kept the throttle open. It literally just burst back into life. It just took off again, and it shot the biggest flame out the back you've ever seen in your life. It was like key banging when you were like a teenager. And,
wow.
Like in your Escort or whatever. And it just come back to life. And I thought, oh, what's going on there? I thought it must be, I don't even know what that, it must be something to do with the ignition or something. And I'll tell you what, mate, I think that bloke thought he was back in the military because the bang it let out was real. I was surprised he got a silencer left. And it kept kind of dying and waking up all the way back. And that's not a road you want that to happen on in the middle of the night, is it? You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
And, that was a sketch. It got me back, though. I have to be fair to it. It got me back, and it just completely died after that. And it turned out that it was the main fuse.
Oh, okay.
230 amp fuse, and I thought I checked it.
Yeah.
And I took half the bike apart trying to find this thing, and I had all the front out, all the binnacle and everything was off, and wires everywhere. And I even changed the ignition switch and everything, like the engine cut-off switch, changed the lock. And it couldn't find it. It kept doing it. But there was two switches over the battery, two fuses, sorry. They were both 30 amps, but one of them was hidden inside, like a big cover. So I took it's a main plug into it, took the plug off, and the fuse was hiding under there. So obviously it gets quite hot there. And it melted. The fuse had melted.
And that's all it was?
25p fuse. Jobs are good.
Wow.
Just nuts the things that happen, isn't it? So, yeah, that was probably my most sketchy ride.
Yeah.
And the best one's a bit of a weird one because it was when I was going to Barmouth for the first time with my mate Rich. I think you've met Rich, haven't you?
Yeah.
We were going to Barmouth for the first time, and we'd left a night early after work so that we could try and get to Mackloop early in the morning. Yeah. So we'd left after work, and it was getting dark on us. We had a good ride down. We were chasing this bloke with a speedboat. I mean, my riding, I wouldn't quite ride quite as like I do now. I didn't have the same level of confidence, but that trip, my riding a load of good, to be honest, because we did like 600 mile in a couple of days, like 3 days. Wow. And we were chasing this bloke with a speedboat. He obviously goes down there. He was towing this speedboat along. And he obviously does that every weekend. Like, you could tell he knows that road back. And he was absolutely... We couldn't keep up with him. I couldn't believe it. When you get towards Barmouth, you've got like these... Just as you get towards there's this big kind of... almost like a mountain that you go up. And
yes,
like,
I know what you mean. Yes.
Straight up kind of thing. And you think, oh, God, you wouldn't want to get that wrong. You know what I mean? And like... The clouds are kind of below you, looking down at clouds and stuff, and it was just getting dark. And we're thinking, oh, maybe we've left this a little bit late, kind of thing. But because we still had to pitch our tents up and stuff like that, and it was. But I tell you what, it was absolutely stunning. And the sun was kind of setting as we got into Barmouth, and as you ride towards Barmouth, from the hilly bit or the mountainous bit, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. I'm guessing they're mountains. I don't know. But
valleys, I suppose, is classed as.
Yeah, that's it. So as you're going through there, you have got this kind of estuary, and not the sun sets on it, and it looks absolutely stunning. If you get it's stunning anyway, but that night it was absolutely stunning. I mean, it was a bit of a bitter thing because Claire was like a bittersweet thing because Claire was on the phone too because Oliver had taken ill and she'd taken him to hospital, and I said, I bet you we ended up in bloody. I bet he ended up in hospital just as I was leaving. Anyway, she actually did have to take him in the end, but that was on my mind a little bit. But either way, it was still absolutely stunning.
Absolutely. It's obviously memorable because it's stuck in your brain, isn't it? Even with
yeah, mate. It was like I say, the scenery was stunning. It was absolutely. It wasn't ideal conditions, but it was absolutely stunning. And we were both sold on the whole thing after that. We were sold on it anyway because we did it, and we've gone back since. But that was it. Then we're trying to make it an annual thing for as long as we can, really. But yeah, an absolutely stunning scenery going into there, and it was just the way the sun was coming down. The sun was starting to set and stuff like. Just as we got there, and it was reflecting off the water. The tide was just about going out. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. That was probably the best scenic ride that I've ever had. I think most memorable one.
When it comes to memorable and scenic and stuff like that, because majority of my biking life has been commuting because that's all I've had.
Yeah.
Because I passed my bike test first, and then I learned to drive years afterwards. Probably about 10 years, 15 years afterwards. So majority of my journeys have been either commuting or when I lived in Kidderminster to go and see my mum over in Melton Mowbray outside Leicestershire. Yeah. So a lot of my journeys have been like that. So it's not exactly scenic.
This is kind of one of the reasons. I mean, it's not one of the reasons really, but like your stories have all been something's been cold or something's been wet or something like that. You don't sound like you've got quite as many real positive.
No, there's nothing been massive. Really, I mean, obviously, apart from, I think this last year has probably been the most recreational riding that I've done.
Oh yeah, so I think this is why I keep saying to you need to kind of go on the tours.
That's the plan. That's the plan. That's something that we want to do, and that's the whole reason for buying the Honda CTX.
Yeah.
Was for actually getting Mrs. Jon on the back and going out and doing some miles in some in some nice weather and gaining some proper nice bike memories. I mean, nothing beats that feeling of. I mean, I've done it in cars, but obviously not on bikes. Yeah. Of when it's a beautiful day and you're coming down the hills after all the twisty bends into Matlock Bath.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to Matlock Bath on the bike.
And you see, as you're looking down into the village, and all you can see is just a stream of bikes parked up, and you're like, this is home.
Yeah. Wow. Like I say, mate, you also need to come out with the Motor Revs guys. Craig Lowe, if you're watching this, any of the Motor Revs guys, this man needs to come on the Welsh tour.
Yeah, up for that.
Yeah. Some good scenic memories. And your Mrs. Jon, you tell him.
I always say.
She's
Hiya. I'm listening.
She is listening. She's taking notes.
Good. Yeah. Get
No, we seriously we do plan to do a lot more tours, a lot more recreational riding. I'm actually buying. I mean, obviously, in the past year, I've always ever had, similar to you, but one pair of gloves, which was always a winter pair of gloves. I've always had one jacket, which has just been a bloody warm jacket. One pair of boots that waterproof. Now, I say I'm getting into more of it because now I've got more casual jackets. I've got, jeans and, boots that are just like trainers, but they're bike boots. So I've got a mixture of everything so I can enjoy it a lot more when it comes to summertime.
Yeah.
And that's the idea. We've got obviously our own helmets, we've got the intercoms, we've got everything ready. Just waiting for the bloody weather now.
Yeah, yeah.
He says as he looks out the window and it's pitch black and pissing it down with rain.
It's funny that my friend Tom's just messaged me just now because I've been trying to get him to do his. He's been talking about doing his CBT for a long time.
Oh yes, you said in the group that he was. Yeah,
he's been talking about doing his CBT for a long time. So I've just given him some gear that I don't really use anymore when I first started.
If you're listening, mate, do it. You won't regret it. I promise you.
Yeah,
it's a life changer.
It is, isn't it? It is.
It really is. It is a life changer.
He's had a rough time lately as well, and he needs. I think he do his. I was trying to explain to him about mental health. You can forget about anything else to do with your mental health. Biking helps. It
clears your head. Absolutely. I mean, the only one time that I ever got a speeding ticket on a bike was basically after having a blazing row with the other half at the time, and just going off on a ride to clear my head. And yeah, unfortunately, I got caught by a bloke with a speeding camera at the wrong time. But
yeah,
it literally it does clear your head, and there's no better feeling as well, especially if you do motorway, than filtering through the motorway, going in between all the traffic, thinking I've saved myself at least 20 minutes here.
Yeah. No, I'm more into, like I say, when I go out into like the country and stuff, and you got a nice twisty road, and
yeah,
I like that. Just when you're on your own, nothing behind you, nothing in front of you. That's what I like.
Yes, clear roads.
That day that day I half killed myself when I went to Aberystwyth was one of those days. I can't remember why. I was a bit moody about something. I was a bit hacked off with life. And
yes, I remember. But that honestly, that was it was a memorable day for me because obviously we were on holiday in Aberystwyth at the time.
Yeah.
And then I got this phone call from you going, I'm just around the corner. It's like, shit, we've just missed there.
Yeah. But I wasn't planning on it. It wasn't.
No, I know.
I'd gone to.
You did it on your own, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I went with my dad. I went with my dad and his guys, the Shatterford Motorcycle Club. They'd gone to Shobden Airfield. And they were kind of gone there. We'd had some food and stuff. And I was in a mood. Wasn't ready to go home kind of thing. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to carry on. To Aberystwyth. Sod it. And I did. But you forget how long it is.
Yeah.
And I kind of got there and I'm sat there thinking, I've actually got a detour as well. And I sat there thinking, and I weren't hanging around either. But I kind of went on a detour and because they'd shut the road for something. There was a rally going on, weren't there?
Yes, that's right. There was the rally in Aberystwyth. Yeah.
So I had to go via Devil's Bridge. Well, that added a bit more on, and I was there. I was kind of only there for about 40 minutes or so because it was a ride I was more interested in. But I'll tell you what a beautiful day it was.
Oh, it was fantastic. Like, that pirate ship out on the sea as well.
In the bay, yeah. That was it. And I thought, that's nice. And of course, there was rally cars knocking around. And I was there for about 40 minutes or something, 45 minutes. Then I come back, but I hadn't drank anything. I absolutely half killed myself. I ended up with, like, what do you call it? Heat stroke.
Oh, right, because your dehydration and all that sort of stuff.
I hadn't drank, absolutely. But you can't tell because I had an air mesh jacket on, and I couldn't tell. But obviously, when I got back, I was must have been just like properly dehydrated.
I mean, I remember because we were on the beach. I think at the time you rang round the corner, at the caravan park, and it was still coming up to evening time, wasn't it?
It was.
And we were still all in shorts in the sea, so we knew it was bloody hot. And of course, if you got all that kit on as well, hell.
Yeah. But I got back. It was just getting dark as I got back. And but I remember the journey back was ace because there was nothing else around. It was Sunday, wasn't it? There was nothing else on the road, and I was just making my own progress. I wasn't going mad, but I was.
They are the best rides I've found.
And that was a good ride.
Even though it's been shitty weather and stuff like that, some of the best rides that I've had have been coming back from my mum's on different various bikes on the motorways, like M69, M6, all that sort of stuff. On my own, when there's been bugger all, and you like you say, there's nothing to concentrate on apart from the ride itself.
Yeah,
your mind disappears in its world of its own. It's just sheer freedom at its best.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, With the
You don't have to
motorway,
concentrate.
that last bit of whenever I come to meet you at Superbike Factory, that last bit of motorway, you've got a good. I don't even know how long. You're probably on there about just under 20 mile, aren't you? Is it 20 mile?
Yes.
Do you reckon?
What from Ashby?
Past, it's not quite Ashby, is it? It's just before Ashby. You're jumping on about junction 9, I think. Junction 9, I think it is.
Or 10. 10 is
Tamworth.
10 is Tamworth. So 11 would be Measham.
Well, I'll get on at 9. I'll get on at Coleshill.
Yeah. Yeah. So that last bit, it's probably is a good. Yeah, probably is about 20 miles. Yeah.
So I don't mind that. A lot of people complain about that because a lot of people like Steve, for example, he always had naked bikes though, so I suppose it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But
so motorway is not.
But I like it because you can just kind of just cruise along.
Yeah.
And I quite like that bit about it, just cruising kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd never kind of choose to go on a motorway on a bike, but when I'm on that bit there, I do get what you're saying because you can just like cruise.
I mean, there is another back way that you can go that's kind of you have to go through Tamworth town though.
Around the Wrekin a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just there's one road
a couple of ways
Tamworth that comes all the way up.
What happens, John? It's typical me because I'm always late, as you know. It's typical me. I leave stuff to the last minute, and I don't leave myself enough time to sort my shit out. So I end up going and having to think, oh God, I need to do it an hour, but I also need to do it up through the back lanes and stuff like that. That's why I always end up jumping out at Coleshill to do the last bit on the motorway.
Just to make up some time.
Yeah, that's it. Just I can't really spend any more. Otherwise, if I planned it properly and I probably gave an extra half hour, I would do the whole thing through the lanes. But mind you, it don't bother me. That last bit of the motorway, like I say, it's just nice just to cruise along that last bit because I've already done half of it off road. I've already done it.
Here's a little bit of info for you. Not that you probably care, but I found out that on Waze, the sat nav app, there is a setting on there purely for motorbikes.
Is there?
Yeah. And basically the idea is that
as well. You got to remember,
rather than doing your fastest route, it's kind of like the most scenic route.
But your Beeline does that, mate, that you sold me.
Yes, it does, yes.
You can just set it to fun and it ignores everything and it goes the fun way.
Yeah.
I love that idea, that Beeline, mate. Ever since I've had that, I've just now I understand it a bit better. It's hard to. I think
that was the issue that I had with it. I don't think I fully understood it and gave it a chance.
Yeah, it took a while, and it is harder to gauge when you're in if you're in a city centre or something like that. It's a bit harder to follow. Yeah. But now I understand more how it works. I'm fine with it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You've got to follow in my nose as well. But it is good. And you just set that. I can just set that to fun, and it'll miss all the motorways and stuff like that. It's really good,
Fabulous. Fabulous. That's what you want.
It is, yeah, it is. So,
go on then. I'll ask me next question for you then.
Go on then.
Oh, pause. Sorry, balls in my face. Right. So, in your eyes, what is the most overrated bike?
Overrated?
Yeah.
That is such a tough question because unless you've ridden that bike, how can you determine overratedness?
True, unless you've ridden it. But I mean, okay, I'll kind of answer it. I often think because I haven't ridden one, obviously it might have a different answer if I had. But I don't get Harleys.
Oh, I so do. You know what you were doing.
I know you do, but I don't.
Oh, I get them, mate. I get them. I think it's the noise, mate, for me.
I get the noise is beautiful. I must admit, Harley does turn my head for the noise.
I think I like how agricultural they are. And you know me, I like an analog bike. I've always said this. I don't necessarily like the latest gadgets and shit. I mean,
No, I'll agree with that. Since I've had a Ducati, yeah.
This is the maximum I'd want, is a quick shifter, traction control for when you're on some dodgy surfaces or something like that.
Yeah.
And ABS. Those are the three things, I think. Leave it there for me. You know what I mean? I don't think I'd want any more than that on a bike because I think it becomes very intrusive then. Same as I don't like ESP in cars, you know. But
it's kind of like they're starting to do automatic gearing on bikes.
Well, they're supposed to be very good, actually, the DCT. I used to have the same thought as you had that, but they are supposed to be, because so I'm told. I mean, Ian Walding, he said that the DCT is really good. Now, I've never experienced one, so I can't say.
No, it feels like it's going to suck the fun out of it, though.
I don't know. I mean, if let's say you're on a gravel track and you're an Africa Twin, right, or you're multi-strada.
Yeah.
And you're trying to concentrate on a gravel track and you're on a really shitty bit of track somewhere. You don't have to worry about gears or anything. You just worry about.
I suppose you can just get on with it then, can't you?
Yeah. I think that would. If you're on a technical bit on a big dirt track, for example.
That I understand, but not for normal day-to-day riding.
So again, I think it's something you have to experience. Because I used to have the same opinion as you there, but look at your DSGs and cars.
Yeah,
look how good they are, and I think it's just pretty much the same with those DCT. I'm not saying they're all the same, because I'm sure you probably get some really shit ones as well.
Rubbishy ones, yeah.
But, apparently the DCT ones are very good. I think that's what. But back to the Harleys, but that's what I'm saying. I like a very analog experience. So a big shaking Harley that you want to get again. You've got a clear day. You've got nothing on. You're going out early in the morning on a Sunday, and there's no one about at all, and you're just on there, along, mate. Mint, absolutely mint.
I mean, it was last summer, and weirdly enough, I was buying a fish pond from a bloke sort of down the road, and got chatting to him, and he suddenly went, "Oh yeah, I've got a Harley in the garage." I was like, "You what?" And I was chatting to him about his Harley, and I said, "Well, go on then, talk to me about it," because he obviously loved that bike. You could tell he loved that bike.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's the downside to Harleys for you?" He went, "I'll be quite honest with you." He says, "I hate the fact that it hasn't got a petrol gauge on it." Pardon?
It's very old school, though, isn't it?
Hasn't got a petrol gauge. I'm like, of all the things that you want on a bike.
Mind you, mate, Jason's Triumph hasn't got one either.
Well, the Speed Triple.
Yeah, he's a street triple, isn't it? You just when we're on the tours, mate. We're all looking. Oh, we need some fuel, and he goes, "Hold on a second." He opens his cap, gives it a shake. He's, "Oh yeah, I probably need some as well." So yeah, I mean,
holy shit! I didn't realize that was a thing
out there without them. It's. I think it'd be. I mean, I would always want one. It'd put me off a bike if I didn't have one.
Oh God, yeah.
Because I do a lot of miles, you could get caught out if you didn't look. But yeah,
I mean, it used to annoy me enough with the 125 putting it in reserve.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think there are still some out there without fuel gauges.
Wow.
It surprised me. It surprised me that the Street Triple didn't have one.
Yeah, that surprised me. I didn't realise that, to be fair.
Yeah. I wonder how he got on. I wonder if he bought that KTM. He hasn't said. He went quiet, hasn't he?
No, he said he was, because I did say to him about when he got the quote through. What they were going to offer him for his.
No,
and he's not said anything.
I'll have to. You know what? I want to text him now.
Do it. I want to know.
I know. Yeah, forgot all about that. All right, please excuse me. Sing to yourself while I text him.
You text away, mate. I must admit, I'm intrigued with that, because you could see the look on his face for that bike.
Oh, he loved it, didn't he?
He needed that.
To be fair, it really suited him when he got on as well.
Yeah.
Just texted him. Massive minge. I'm typing like me nan now. There we go. Yeah, let's see what he says about that then.
Yeah, I'll be interested.
Yeah, because when he sat on that, and I'll tell you that exhaust was nice on it as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a nice piece of work that exhaust that was on it. I can't remember I couldn't get down to see it, but it was it certainly looked the part, didn't it? I don't know.
It was a nice bike. Oh, yeah.
Sounds, mate. Mind you, you look good on that adventure.
I do like a super adventure.
Yeah, I do as well. I do.
Oh, very nice bikes.
I do very much. They do float my boat. But
I think that's the second one that's been in Superbike that I've sat on and gone, oh yeah.
Yeah, I do like a very purposeful bit of kit, aren't they? Those, but like I said, I'm happy with my Africa Twin. I mean, how long does it take me to actually take the plunge?
Oh yeah, and I'm so glad you have.
Oh my God, he never got a call back.
Really?
How bad's that?
That's disgusting.
So you'd have thought in the middle of winter as well.
Yeah, when they're desperate for sales.
Dying to get a sale. Superbike Factory Donington, shame on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You. From two of your biggest fans.
Yeah.
On here, shame on you.
Very much shame.
I know.
It's a shame I don't know more people in the sales department. Otherwise, I'd
shoot, sack them, John.
Absolutely, I should go out. Should go in there, shouldn't I, with a big stick?
Yeah, sack a lot of them, mate.
Sack them all. So, make them all wear yellow t-shirts just to embarrass them.
Yeah. So Harleys, totally get them. I don't think.
No, I understand that. I mean, you do look good on a frigging Harley.
I don't think I look good on the Sportsters because it looks like they're going to go in.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to envelop them into my.
It looks a little bit of a floss situation for you, I must admit.
Yeah. I feel like. You ever seen? Do you remember Moonwalker?
Yes.
Got the two cartoon fat blokes on the little scooters. That's what I feel like.
Yes, I do.
Even worse than the Sportster was the other one. They've got the modern one that's made in India or something, the Street or whatever it's called. I look even worse than them. Street 750, I think they are.
Right.
They're even smaller. I can't believe how small they are. But the bigger ones, but you've got a massive price tag for them. Like,
I know. Honestly, it's like that. What was that one that it's not a Harley, but I was quite surprised. Was it the Zephyr?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it a Honda Zephyr or it's a cruiser? Is it Zephyr?
I don't know.
There's been a few of them up Superbike Factory, and I really like the look of them.
The one I like, mate, is that one that you had me sit on with the nice cowl on the front and the red stripe.
Oh, yes.
It was an Intruder, wasn't it?
Yes.
Suzuki Intruder. Oh, absolutely.
Mate, that was the
If I was the bike cruiser, I think that was what it would be.
I could see it. I'm surprised you didn't buy that, actually. I really did. That was...
Can you imagine me trying to go
black and orange.
Yeah. Oh, I did love it, mate.
That really was a bit of you.
I'd totally buy one of those. Love it. Absolutely love it. I love the look of it. I love the cowl on the front.
Yeah.
And they just look the part. If I was to buy a cruise, that's exactly how I'd want it to look.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a Harley. And you know what? They're cheaper than a Harley, and they're probably more reliable.
Mate, I get that. That bike, totally I get. 100%.
Yeah. I think it's all scene tax, isn't it? It's like your VW T5 transporters.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue I've got with Harleys is the old school 90s when all the serious bikers had Harleys, and I'd watch them in the village and watching them with a turning circle on them.
Yeah.
Because they didn't turn at all. And watching all these odd bikers, and you want to snigger at them because they've got a flipping a whole car park to turn around and they can't do it.
Yeah.
But you don't laugh because they just come and fill your head in.
But it's the same with a lot of sports bikes. None of them can turn. Over the VFR, I tried to do a turn of the road on that once. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Full lock. I still couldn't even get it. I tried it once, but it literally full lock as much as it would go. Trying to turn it in the same place that I think I did my CBT. And there was a certain road I did my CBT on and some of my Mod 1 training.
Right.
Excuse me. And I couldn't make it. I walked it around to see if it would do it, and it wouldn't do it.
That figures. I remember that being particularly bad. Yeah.
We can't use a turning circle as a thing.
That's the sort of bike that you have to get a serious lean on it in order for it to turn.
Yeah. But Yeah, no, Harleys I do get them, but they do get. I don't think they're worth the money. No, they're
No,
not. They're not
no,
worth
I think they're very overrated in my eyes.
Yeah, in that sense, I think they are, but I do totally get them.
I mean, like you say, you've got bloody great a gold wing. You know, I get that,
Yeah, it was
and some of those are phenomenal.
Whenever I think of Goldwing, I think of that. There was a fella who had an 80s Goldwing. There was a local bike night on at the pub at Black Horse Illy. It was.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy turns up like, and he's an older guy, like, and he's got this gold ring, mate, and he's got like Christmas lights all over it. I bet
Yes.
he was Santa at Christmas because he had lights all over it, and of course he's playing the music out. It was proper theatre. Absolutely loved it. Every time I think of a gold ring, I think of that fella. It was absolutely awesome. It was
Fabulous.
Funny how these things pop into your head that you've
Yeah.
seen or done when you think about things.
Absolutely. That's why having a chat's good, because you reminisce on things every now and then. You're like, oh, I forgot about that.
I know, yeah, you do until certain things just pop up. Like you think, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then. Here's another question.
I don't know if I've run out.
Have you?
What
have I got? I've got.
Bike you've ever had? That was one.
Say again.
Fastest bike you've owned?
Ooh.
Because you've had a lot more bikes than I have.
I must admit, I think that FJR is probably the fastest that I've had, because I never got to top speed on that.
I bet not. What are the top speeds? I don't even know what the top speeds are on them. I think they're quite.
I'm not sure.
Aren't they?
But this bugger kept going, mate. I bottled it at 130.
On private land.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. In the field, middle of nowhere.
In a field. There must be some field. So where? Yeah, I don't know. I've not really. Yeah, I do fancy. It might, if things start to go a little bit better on the old finances. A Honda Super Blackbird is calling.
Oh yes,
walking to me.
Yeah,
tweeting, whatever you want. What does a Blackbird do? No, they squawk. They're horrible.
Yeah, it is more of a squawk, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
yeah,
because it's so underrated, mate. You can get one for £1,500.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before the Hayabusa came along, they were the daddies.
Oh, they were. Yeah, I remember when people used to speak about them when they came out. It was almost with fear.
Well, I think they're quite mild-mannered, though.
They are, they probably are now. Yeah.
But I suppose compared to the modern stuff, they would be. Yeah. But
yeah.
Like I look at the Hayabusas and stuff like that, and before that, because they're the ones everyone automatically thought. So obviously now it's all about the ZH2 or
H2s, yeah.
But the Super Blackbird's just sort of unfairly overshadowed. So they're just pennies. You can't believe that a bike that will do what it does is so cheap.
I mean that's quite shocking. That is. But then again, like we say, we've been walking around Superbike Factory, and the price of some of the bikes. You see what you can get nowadays for like $3,000. It's crazy.
Then again, you see some of the stuff, you think, bloody hell, I wouldn't pay that.
Yeah,
for that.
exactly. Yeah.
But,
money.
Yeah. That's what's chirruping out to me is a Super Blackbird.
Yeah.
But also a cruiser, but I think the Super Blackbird will probably win.
Yeah, I think if you've got that, I think cruising probably comes a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. No, I think for you, Super Blackbird. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I am a huge fan. But to be fair, I think I told my dad. I said to my dad because he used to have a VFR 800, which is why I ended up getting one because I just loved it that much. But I said to him about it. He said, "You know what?" I said, "I nearly traded in the VFR for a Super Blackbird once." I don't remember what he did. He did tell me, but he didn't do it in the end for some reason. But Yeah. Watch this space. It could happen. It could happen.
You never know. You never know.
What
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll just turn it with a bloody another bike one day.
Finally get rid of the ZZR and.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. I thought, I might fix that. You know, we both know I'm not going to fix it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So I haven't really had a fastest bike. I think in terms of miles per hour, I'd say that I don't know what the miles per hour of the VFR was, but I know it was higher than the CBF.
Yes,
the gear was a little bit taller on the VFR, so I'd probably say that was the fastest bike that I've had so far. But that won't be the case forever.
Well, like I say, it's one of these things that I think I've done. I think the idiot in me has left the building. Well, most of it.
Yeah.
For riding bikes, anyway. I think that's left the building. I'm now very, very much into the sit back and enjoy it.
If I had one, there is no way on God's green earth that I would ever take it to anywhere near its capability. It's just nice to know
it's there if you need
it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the only reason that I did that speed and lift jet, it was cold, it was wet, it was dark, it was dank, and it was that, one of those, I just want to get home.
Yeah.
And I was just riding, and I wasn't looking at the clock at all. And then when I did, I realised where I was, and a little bit of poo came out. I came straight off the throttle.
So you literally just glanced down, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
Yes.
Was it one of those?
I'll tell you where I was. Right. I was coming round. Is it the M5 round West Brom?
Yeah.
Where it's really high up. And then I was going round there, and it was, like I say, I think it was a Sunday night, raining, it was dark, it was horrible, it was cold.
You mean on the motorway?
Yeah.
So do you mean where it's on the over, they've put it down to like 60 miles an hour now?
Yeah, that's the bit.
And you've got like a big light board thing up now, haven't you?
Yes, that's it.
Is that what you mean? Christ,
yeah.
You go around there at speed. I don't like going around there quick, even in a bloody car.
It was, I was just riding, and it was just that sort of get home, concentrate, just watching what's ahead, blah, 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 blah. And then I just happened to glance down and saw my clock. So I was like, holy shit. And my brain just immediately said to me, if I come off now, and I went sliding into that barrier over there, and then there's a 30-foot drop. Yeah. that was kind of enough to, a little bit of poo to come out, and me go, nah, slow down, mate. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, I've not really. Like I say, I tend to I pop it up a little bit sometimes if I'm getting like an overtake done. I don't like hanging to the side of stuff. If I'm on the motorway, mostly this happens.
Yeah.
But if I'm going past something, I'm going past something, and I've popped it up, and I've been, quite surprised. At the speedo afterwards, but not really. I've not really ever cracked it open to see what it will do.
To be fair, since then, that's the last time that I have.
Yeah. That's why I'm not. Like I say, that I think the Africa Twin tops out at about 125 or something. So it's not like
it's still enough, though, isn't it?
Long, it is, yeah. But it's not like it's long-legged bike compared to something like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some of them, like the FGR, for example, because I think that's got quite a reasonable top speed, hasn't it? As far as I know. But,
never tried it, but yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I've exhausted all my questions for.
Go on, I've got one more.
Go on then.
What is, in your opinion, one piece of equipment every biker should own and not the obvious? So we're not talking helmets, gloves, jackets, trousers, boots, that sort of stuff.
Now, I've learnt this the hard way. So I have actually got this but I need to try and find a more compact version.
Right.
Tyre slime or puncture repair kit, and a small battery powered compressor to keep in like a
okay.
or something.
That's a good call, actually. Yeah.
Because the amount of rides I've been on now where I've ended up with a bloody flat tyre.
I must admit, I've been lucky. I've only ever had a flat tyre once.
Loads to me, mate. Now,
and it was very horrible feeling. I didn't like it. I must admit, because that was a rear tyre, and I hit a pothole.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I took it in, the bloke showed me the piece of metal or whatever that he'd found that had got in the tyre. Just obviously something in the pothole.
Ah.
Phenomenal. But
yeah,
that was quite scary.
What happened to me? Yeah, it happened to me the other week, and I was out on the Transalp, and I just suddenly, it just didn't feel right, and it was deflating, and turns out it was deflating. I thought, I just don't feel right, and it was just wanted to go straight. Now my rear tyre on the Transalp is quite squared off anyway, so that makes the bike feel a bit like that anyway.
Yeah.
So and I got to the next round, so I kind of weaved a little bit, because I do tend to do that if I feel something that feels different.
Yeah.
I do it to kind of gauge it. I do it quite often, rightly or wrongly. And I got to the next roundabout. That felt kind of all right. And I got to the next roundabout. And it's when I sort of tipped into the bend and I'm leaning. It did just wanted to go straight on. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I've got a flat tyre.
Something's, yeah.
Yeah, so I pulled over on the roundabout because it was quite a big roundabout, and it's hard to describe, but cars don't go on the bit where I was at, so I knew I was safe because they kind of straight line it, if you know what I mean. So I knew I was all right there. So I pulled over there, and I kind of had a nose. And the front tyre, you could see it was noticeably flat, but it wasn't completely flat. Now, I remember I was about the same distance on an adjacent road. Do you remember when the output shaft had stripped its spline?
Yes, I do. Yes,
I nearly killed myself pushing the thing
over.
I thought I ain't doing that again. So I just thought, right, I can get round this corner because I've already been round 2 roundabouts like it, and there's still some air in it. It weren't good. I could get this back because obviously it wasn't a rapid deflation; it was just going down. So I thought, I don't fancy this roundabout at the bottom by Morrison's because that would cause me problems because that's a fast road. They're really busy. So if I get round here and I'll come off, and I had to go off a little slip road, and I had to go up a little bit of a bus lane and over a path to get onto the end of my close. Now it's like a shortcut.
Yeah.
And obviously, I couldn't go quick anyway because I was like push bike speed, basically, is all I could really do. So I managed to get it back, and I was going past the school, like all the kids were kicking out, and there was like they're all going, "Oh, look at him, the flat tire!" Like, oh, yeah, look, I had my hat on, but yeah, get his attention, you little prick. You know what I mean? But I managed to get it back, but that was like literally. What was that? About 2 weeks ago that happened.
Yeah,
and that's a new tyre.
Yeah,
that was a new tyre. Yeah,
I was gutted when you told me about that.
Yeah, I couldn't find out. I was looking. I couldn't find anything obviously wrong with it. So, but if I'd have had all I did, I got some tyre slime. I am going to change the tube on it, but I checked it because I kept blowing it up, and it was taking a while to go down. So. God knows how long it was taking to go down.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I hadn't checked the pressure. I checked that they're up, but I don't check the pressure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So perhaps it didn't have as much as I thought. It just, as I was riding it, just started to go flatter and flatter. I just don't know. But it's obviously picked something up on that run. But all I did was bung some tyre slime in it, some inner tube slime, because I don't like the stuff really, because it makes a right mess. But it's got and a tubed tyre. I don't mind it so much because it's just going to take the tube out. But some tyre slime and a battery-powered pump would have sorted that out, even if it had gone out. So I thought I was lucky that I was close to home again.
Yeah.
If that had happened over in Coventry, where I was, I'd have been waiting for the RAC for about 6 days.
That'd been, that'd been disastrous, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But you can get these plugs as well. Have you seen these tyre plugs that they use, like a punch repair thing? So if you've got a screw go in your tyre or a bolt or something that goes through it, you pull it out. You get it's like a thing with a handle on it, and it's like almost like a needle. If you imagine a big needle with an eye in it that you put your thread in, you put in this little bit of rubber in, and you get like another one which is like almost like a round nail file is all I can describe it as. And what you do is you make the hole bigger, and you rough up the hole, and then you squirt this kind of, it's almost like tires, it's like silicone sort of stuff onto the rubber thing. You insert it, pull it out, and you cut it off.
I've seen them do it on car tires. Yeah,
exactly the same. Exactly.
Yeah,
which would get your home thing. But what people never remember is you need something to pump the bloody tire up with.
Yeah.
So they've got this stuff. They don't have anything to pump it up with. So you've got to get yourself a little battery powered inflatable.
I mean, that's the one thing that I find nice now, that both of my bikes have got the cigarette lighters.
Yeah.
Little outputs.
So the battery powered ones, they've got like 4,000 milliamp batteries, like your phone, for example.
Yeah,
it is enough just to power, because you only want it to try to get it just up enough to get you to a garage rig to put some proper pressure into it, But
that's the idea, isn't it? I suppose
as a get you out of trouble thing. I think I won't be leaving on any decent mileage without some sort of.
No, that's a good call, actually, mate.
Some sort of puncture. Oh, mate, because the RAC, like, it's not just the RAC though. Until someone like Richard Branson comes along, buys his own rescue recovery service and sets the bar higher, they're all going to stay the same, mate, all of them. So like when we was at Barber's last time, I think I told you about it, Chris, who was with us, he had an absolute bear, mate. His car packed up.
I remember,
and it was horrendous. It hydrolocked the engine and everything. There was that much fuel spewing out. It was spewing out the front of the airbox. This carb was absolutely fucked, mate. And mate, they left him on the side of the road. I mean, we did our we waited with him for a good number of hours as well.
Yeah.
And they told him, and we were trying to go to Mac Loop, and we could see the valley where we were from. We saw some planes come through. Me and Rich were like, oh my God, that's amazing, kind of thing. And they were like, I think to ourselves, we should be up there. Like, Chris, bless him, he said, well, they said they're going to be an hour. You get off and I'll just get recovered, kind of thing. There's no point in you being here. So we're like, okay. So we went to the garage for him, got him some scran and took it back.
Yeah.
Anyway, mate, the hour didn't happen. They weren't true. Bear in mind, he'd called them at 8 o'clock in the morning. And by this time, we were talking at about 11, half 11, something like that. So we'd already been there some hours. So the hour would have taken to about 1:30 or something like that, 1:30. We came down off of the hills at about 4:30.
Yeah.
And he was still there.
You're joking.
Still there. And we got back, we're like, mate, I thought they were getting you an hour. He said, no, it never happened. I sat there thinking, what if we weren't there? What if we weren't there? Because we were in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people had pulled over, check he was all right and stuff. But he might have been even more remote on that, like that, than a bike. Than on a bike. You know what I mean? Because you can go anywhere, can't you? You want to be out in the middle of nowhere with no traffic and stuff. But like, we got him some fodder and we got him a drink. But they'd left him. In the end, they turned up at about 5:30 in the end, after a lot of faffing and stuff like that, and then we're going to recover him back. But he was literally on the side of the road. He was on the side of the road in the bus stop. There were some houses about, but like not obvious. It was a quiet, sleepy little village, basically.
Yeah.
And he was left with absolutely nothing. And I thought to myself, What if he was diabetic or something?
Yeah.
What if they needed a crap? You know what I mean? Like, they proper done him.
I totally get it. I mean, it's never happened to me on a bike, but I mean, similar thing happened to me coming into work when I broke down when I first started, not long been started. And I broke down just outside of Tamworth on a Monday morning. And obviously got phoned RSCAA, whoever it was at the time. And bear in mind that this was before 8 o'clock in the morning. They didn't get to me till 11.
Yeah.
And then all they did was recover me to Tamworth Services and left me there for another 2 hours before the AA came to me.
Nuts, isn't it? It's nuts. I mean, I've done my fair share of it as well. I've been in some sketchy situations. Like, they've left the kids, mate, in the car with Claire. We were we had some real bad luck once when I was racing at Skegness with my mates. We took the caravan and we had the kids in the car and the mother-in-law, and we took the Galaxy. We were towing with the Galaxy. We had the caravan on the back, and the water pump let go, and it took the cam belt out. Just destroyed it.
Okay. Yeah.
And we had the caravan. We dipped into this like little lay-by again in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, we were about 40 miles from the campsite, and I called my mate Tim. I said, Tim, can you come back? Bear in mind, he'd just driven from Skegness himself.
Yeah.
He came back, bless him, and he picked up the caravan and took the kids and Claire up to the site and got them set up. So I had the mother-in-law with me, and we got the AA came. No, the RAC again, sorry, because I've been with the RAC. They came after about 3 hours and took us back home. So we stayed overnight, and then we got Claire's car in the morning and went straight back up to Skegness. Excuse me. So we had our holiday and stuff. All was well. Until on the way back, for the same holiday, the gearbox in her car shit itself on the way back with the caravan on.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it was actually something really stupid. What it actually done, because it was an auto, and it got an oil cooler. It was like one of these Chevrolet. Chevrolet 4x4 type thing. So it had, I can't remember what it was, Captiva, that was the one. And it's got a plastic joint for the oil cooler, and it snapped, and it just emptied itself all over the bloody floor.
Oh, okay.
And it lost drive. I mean, it didn't damage it or nothing, luckily, but again, pulled over. Side direct. Now we're talking serious shit now. We're on the side of a busy motorway. Caravan on the back, which takes up the entire hard shoulder.
Yeah.
We've got 3 kids in the car that are sitting up on this bloody bank. Anyway, I can't remember what happened then. They couldn't take all of us at once. So I was stressing because both our cars were knackered at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, shit, we've got to go to work. We've got to take the kids to school because the kids had nursery on the other side of town. So I had to go. I got recovered first. No, they got recovered first, and they took the kids and Claire off to a services up the road.
Right.
Another van came and got me. And another van came and got me and took me, the car, and the caravan back to... took me, the car, and the caravan back over to the yard and to where I got my... where I got the thing fixed, basically.
Yeah.
So I can't remember who took me. I think it was Claire's sister gave me a lift to. She gave me a lift over to my grandparents, where I picked up their car and I could carry on doing all my shit and taking the caravan home because that was stuck outside work because it was all of the site I used to work at. It was a nightmare. But mate, at the meantime, while I was doing all that, Claire hadn't been recovered with the kids from this service station till about, I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning or something stupid. Jeez. I was considering going to get her myself.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, absolutely nuts, mate. And you think to yourself, I pay all this money. I pay all of this money for this, for this service that you might not even need. But you're paying for it. So when it happens, it's a stressful enough situation as it is. So you want a swift recovery, don't you?
Yeah.
But that, like I say, Chris, mate, that's horrendous that they'd left him like that.
That's disgusting. That is.
I think it was the AA. It wasn't the RAC for him thinking about it. I think it was the AA. But they're all the same, mate. AA, RAC. They're all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they're with. They're all. Yeah.
But I was just thinking about what if he was diabetic and he had no food? Like, what if he'd have been like had a hypo or something, or hyper or whatever they called, whichever one. But like, it's bad shit, that is, and they just don't take any of this into. Mind you, I suppose if he'd have said, "Yeah, you know what, I'm diabetic, I need to get off."
Well, I suppose, it's one of those things when you start to panic. You
can't believe that they think it's acceptable to leave someone like that, though. Like,
no.
Sorry, hurry up because my colostomy bag's about to explode all over the road. Do you know what I mean? There's all sorts of situations that people could be in. And they're just, you're all right to be on the side of the road for 12 hours. That's perfectly fine, mate.
If you think about it, when we broke down at Donington Services, we were going to Nottingham and broke down at Donington Services. Bear in mind that under mobility, and we phoned the RAC, and we were there three hours.
Nuts, isn't it?
And then phoned them up, and they went, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's going to be another couple of hours." And I just went, "Fuck this." So I don't care if we break down on the way back home. I'm going to try and get us home because I can't just sit here.
Yeah,
and that's that's under mobility.
Have a leak or something?
Hey,
didn't have a coolant leak or something?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole lot dumped. Just no coolant at all in the system. So it was just a case of
build it up and hope for the best. On the gauge.
Literally, that's what I did. I paid about a ridiculous amount of money. It was about 12 quid for a bottle of coolant. And just whacked all that in it and just went, right, let's just hope for the best and just took it easy.
Yeah.
On the way back home to not get it too hot.
Watching the gauge like a hawk.
Yeah, oh, gotcha.
The gauge
rather than the Speedo. Forget the Speedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then managed to get it home and then phoned up again and just said, right, we've made it back home. You can come and collect, come and recover from the house.
Yeah, so, there we go. There we have it officially. RAC, AA, all your recovery services, get in the bin. In the bin, the lot of you.
Absolutely in the bin.
Yeah. Richard Branson,
in the big bin.
Virgin Recovery Services. Me and John will run it.
That's it. Absolutely. We know, yeah. Or let's why don't they do a proper bike recovery service?
Well, they do. There's the guy who they sub it out though. So the guy who picked the bike up, picked Chris up, was really good. He's actually local to here. I think he's from Nuneaton or something like that. But it's called Bike SOS or something like that. I see the van around here picking people up. But they're a subby at the end of the day. They're just a recovery sub. They sub out to the main guys. But you'd have thought just why take at work, we wouldn't take clients on unless we had the infrastructure of people to deal with the problems.
Yes.
You would just take on 20, take on 20 clients, but you know what? We ain't going to we're not going to get any more engineers. That's not how but that's what they're doing. They don't give a shit how many people they take on.
No.
They keep the same infrastructure. It's all right. It's all right. We'll up our SLA or whatever it is to 6 hours now instead of 4 because we're taking more people on. And that's the sort of thought process behind it. They don't look. It drives me mad, mate, because you shouldn't have people who pay that money for exactly that situation should not be sat on the side of a motorway, side of a road, or whatever. That just shouldn't be happening.
No, absolutely not.
I reckon the government should do something. It bothers me that much, mate. But, there we go. I'm going to burst a blood vessel in a minute. So
I get it though. It is. It's infuriating because we pay enough for the car infrastructure. You pay enough for your car, your tax, all these different things that you pay for. Then you pay for recovery service, and it's just shit.
Oh yeah, totally. And it's not like you can go to you can pay a bit more and have a better one. You can't. No. You can't.
No.
I am absolutely 100% getting a bike trailer, mate. That's one thing I am going to get because I could just phone Claire and say, I'd rather do that. I said, phone Claire. Yeah. Claire, can you get me? I'm here.
All you've got to do is just get home then, and then you can worry about it then, can't you?
I can get the trailer up, go back and get the bike. It'd still be twice as fast. I mean, the bike might not be there when you get there, but that's what you got insurance for. But
true. Yeah.
You're sat there for 12 hours on the side of the road, right? Or 10 hours at the side of the road. You've still got enough time, even for Barmouth, mate, where we were. We were just out, not far from Barmouth. I say not far. We were probably about 10 miles out from Barmouth, 8 miles, something like that. If I'd have driven home, got the trailer, and driven back, it's still been within the time it took them to dispatch someone.
Yeah.
That's how shit it is. And it's not like it's close. It's like that's a good 120 miles, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like...
to be fair, I feel sorry for the poor blokes on the vans.
Well, they get a lot of shit, don't they? They get a lot of shit. It ain't their fault. It's just how it is. It's just how these companies are running their businesses.
Yeah.
And they try and put mine up every year, and I say bollocks. You know what I mean? So I hate it. I do. I think it went up from like 15 quid to 15 quid a month or something, or 11 quid a month. So like, I might not use it for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they put it up to £28 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll get green flag for £11 a month. And bear in mind, they are all as shit as each other. Now, I wouldn't begrudge a £28 a month. I wouldn't begrudge £50 a month if I knew I was going to be rescued within an hour.
That's the thing. You can't put a price on the speed. You know, if somebody turned around to you and said, right, you pay 100 quid a month and we guarantee we'll get you home or recovered within the hour.
Yeah. So then if you want to pay for the cheap one and it's shit, you can't really moan. But the problem here is there ain't a shiny as shit. There
isn't an option. No.
Yeah. Like I say, I think the RAC and the AA, I don't even know if they are, because I think Green Flag, I think they all use the same bloody subcontractors anyway. So it's still just a shower of shit. I just think it needs to be regulated by the government properly or something like that. There's something, someone's got to step in at some point, because I still think that it's
especially now more and more cars are on the road.
Yeah, and they're just not doing anything about the infrastructure to support it all.
I mean, it was fair enough when you got one car, back in, 70s, 80s, when every family had one car. Then that's fine. The infrastructure would be okay. But most people have got 2, 3, 4 cars now.
Yeah. And
per
250
family.
bikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. Yeah. Recovery services in the bin.
Yeah.
Your own question for you now, John.
Well, one piece of equipment.
Yes.
I've been trying to think about this. And I was thinking, obviously, you got locks and things like that. But the reason I asked it was because I know you're more mechanically minded than I am.
Yeah.
So it was more of a kind of a hint for me to, when we do go out touring, things to make sure that you've got. And to be fair, what you've said is
a flat tire. That's the most likely thing that's going to ruin your life.
Yeah.
So if you can fix that at the side of the road, even if you're just bugging tire, sliding in and pumping it back up.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just to get it home or whatever, as long as you can get it somewhere and get sorted.
It's supposed to last for 2 years. I wouldn't trust it. I'm not going to trust it. I think after Christmas, I'll take it.
To be fair, with something like that in it.
Yeah. Oh well, what they're supposed to do, the slime itself is supposed to stay kind of liquid in form, and then as soon as you get a puncture and it finds the puncture and it solidifies it. I don't know. It's some sort of witchcraft.
Probably air hitting it or something, isn't it?
Yeah, some sort of weird, wonderful witchcraft happens. And
yeah,
like I say, I tested. It went down a bit on the night, so I blew it up to I think 36 psi when I first put it in, and it was at 30 on the morning. I took it out for a spin the other day. Where did I go? Oh, no, I took it to work and back. And when I got back from work, it was on 30, just under 30 in the morning, which is a bit lower than I'd done it, but it was enough. So it had obviously stopped going down, though. So I took it, and I took a compressor with me, and I took it to work and brought it back. And when I brought it back, it was just over 30, obviously, because the tyre got warm.
Yeah, yeah.
As I was riding it, so it had gone up a little bit. But yeah, that was it. And like I say, it was a puncher before, like. But that stuff's supposed to stay in your tyre, travelling around your tyre until it finds a puncture, basically, or somewhere the air's escaping, and then it plugs it, kind of thing. But I don't know if I like that, because you could have, or you're travelling around with a tyre that's got about 6 or 7 different bloody punctures in. So and you wouldn't know. And I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a bit of a frightening thought in a way, but
yeah. So I think I'd only use it in that situation as a fix rather than.
It's just an emergency thing until you can get another new tyre or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, but they sell it, mate, as it lasts for 2 years as a kind of proactive thing. Absolutely fucking not a chance in hell. I'll stick it in if I get a problem and hope it fixes it. Obviously, this stuff that I'm talking about isn't going to fix like a proper blowout where the side of your tyre blows out. And
well, yeah. That's different. That's just a shit tyre.
Oh yeah, well, but most of the time, it's things that have gone through your tyre, isn't it? Like Rich, for example, I went with Rich. I think it was the first decent ride out we were going for. I was on the little Lex Shito at the time. We were going to went to Elan Valley. We were going to Aberystwyth, but we had a massive detour because he ran something over. Right. He took a slice out of his tyre. But if he'd have had the tyre slime, I'm convinced he'd have fixed that. Not fixed it like. I reckon the tyre slime probably would have plugged it enough for him to continue. I don't. Yeah. One of the plug things wouldn't have though, but I reckon the tyre slide might have just done it, but it might have bought him enough time just to ride there, so we weren't waiting for the RAC for ages. Again, they were quite quick that day. To be fair, I have to be fair to them. I don't know why they were that quick, but I think they got to us
just
about an hour and a half or something like that. It took them.
Okay. And
the bloke was sound. He took him to. We'd already done the legwork.
Yeah.
Same thing though. Same thing. Same scenario. Oh shit! I'm not prepared for this. I'm not prepared for this happening. Oh, I've got what do we do? I thought, we phone the RAC or phone a bike recovery guy because we're waiting forever for the RAC. Try and find a tyre. Yeah, it was a weekday, and we managed to find one in Hereford. So by the time the RAC guy turned up, yeah, stupid. Have you not got a spare tyre? I'm on a fucking bike. What are you about?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you don't tend to carry one over your shoulder or whatever.
It's a little bit difficult to call one of them around, isn't it?
And yeah. So he took him to Hereford, and I met him there. But he put a new tyre on, which is the right thing to do. But I reckon the slime would have got him out of trouble if he had a slime and a compressor in a little bag or something. You know what I mean? I reckon he'd have been all right.
Yeah, good advice, really. It's
might have been. I'm not saying it would, but it'll get you out of most situations. Yeah. Unless you've got a proper fucking blowout, and then you fuck no matter what.
Well, that's different. You can understand that, can't you? But a silly little hole or something that,
yeah, you run something over. That's the thing you're gonna do. Is you're gonna run something over, which is what happened to Rich. Yeah, what happened to me? Happened with my Lex Moto. Same thing that went down. I had to get Claire to come get rid of the horse box that day. Fuck the RAC. I ain't. Yeah. If I know I'm at a pub, mate, there's no way they're coming for about 6 hours.
No, definitely.
So, I got Claire to come with the horse box. I chucked it in the back of the horse box.
Genius.
Yeah, well, it went too far away. But, yeah. Well, John, we've been on for an hour and a quarter, mate, so you better wrap it up, sir.
All right, buddy. Not a problem. It's always a pleasure. You know what it's like, us two. We could go on for hours.
I know, yeah. And this is proof that's 2.25 hours we've done of talking shit again. So, there we go, mate. I'll probably arrange another one, see if we can get someone else on as
Absolutely,
well. Yeah. All right, then. Well, thank you very much, buddy. Speak to you later.
No, thank you. It's always good to talk to you, and speak to you soon, no doubt.
Farewell. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.